I got 31 million merits by playing archers as an archer main, and in 2026 I started to showcase my hero pairs, right? I already did the guide regarding Magrat and Zaida and Kinara and Musiang for 2026, and today it's time for me to show you my third hero pair, which is doing absolutely amazing, and I believe all the archer players should have these heroes in their lineup, right? We are speaking about Falgrim and Nico, right? And first of all, we are going to speak about the idea behind this hero pair, right? Actually, Falgrim was the first archer legendary hero which was dealing damage to multiple targets. We know it from the penetrating bolt, right? We are gonna deal damage to 2 targets, which is really good, especially in AoE mass PvP, right? So basically, Falgrim is a skill damage user, which needs to have a rage, and the main idea how we're gonna deal damage as Falgrim is by the skill, right? And all the attributes and all the buffs which Falgrim has actually enables your hero Falgrim to deal as much damage as possible with the skill damage factor, and actually you can see it from the awakening skill, right? When Falgrim Legion launches a normal attack, it deals 20% more hero skill damage, right? That's the key words. So it's not a normal attack hero, it's not a crit rate hero, it's basically rage user and skill damage user. Basically, Nico is the same style. Nico is a basic hero. In season 1 you're gonna be able to get Nico from the gold keys, and of course Nico has same synergies as Falgrim, right? Nico is also skill damage user, a rage accumulation user, and plus we have some really important debuffs, which are of course defense break, right? 50% defense reduction is really important, especially when you are fighting against infantry players, and nowadays I honestly believe that there is much more infantry players than archer players in the game, right? And yeah, we have the same style of buffs as Falgrim, which means we are going to have a good synergies towards Falgrim. And plus, defense break on awakening skill also, you're gonna have 80% chance to deal additional damage, which basically means that you're gonna use this awakening skill almost every single time whenever you are fighting in open field, right? Nico is gettable from the gold keys, from the gold chest, and Falgrim is a PvP hero, which means you will be able to unlock Falgrim from the lucky spins, which makes this hero much more free-to-play friendly than other strongest lord heroes, right? And yeah, I believe Falgrim is a primary hero in this synergy, and whenever we are speaking about primary hero, we have to speak about talents, right? Marksman, PvP, and skill is the talent tree for the Falgrim, and so far I have been testing out skill talent tree, right? First of all, we have to mention that Spirit of the Rage, as I said, we have to get as much rage as possible on Falgrim to use the skill, and by using that skill you are dealing damage. You're gonna get 20 additional rage, right? After that we have some HP. While in battle your Legion ignores 2% enemy HP, and hopefully nowadays people understand how important and how strong this buff actually is, right? Hero skill damage taken reduction, and we have when gaining a buff effect, your Legion has 20% chance to gain synergy, increasing their hero skill damage dealt by 10%. What's the idea, right? We don't have crit rate on Falgrim, that's why unlocking and choosing crit rate talents will be basically useless, right? Because this hero pair does not crit. The last talent which I chose is Caged Animal. Every time your hero casts a rage skill, they deal 0.5% more hero skill damage, up to maximum of 8%. This effect lasts until battle ends. So basically, this talent will synergized with the whole gameplay of Falgrim and Nico by dealing damage by the skill, and I believe this is one of the most important talents for the Falgrim in the skill section, right? So basically I went for the full skill talent tree and half PvP. Of course, whenever we are speaking about PvP talent tree, we always have to mention Army of army of Valor. Increases damage dealt by your legion while in battle by 1% every 10 seconds to a maximum of 3%, right? So basically more damage from the PvP talent tree, and of course Fury Flame, hero skill damage dealt bonus 5%, and some extra rage. I wish I had some more points to get some more levels on head held high, because getting extra rage on Falgrim and Nico is really important, right? So yeah, as I have mentioned many times, don't just copy and paste, try to read the talent trees, and it will help you to fight even better, because you will understand how your hero pair is actually working, right? So yeah, that's my talent tree, which I'm running currently on Falgrim and Nico, right? Next topic, which we have to speak about, is of course artifacts, right? First of all, we have to say that most exclusive and best in slot artifact for Falgrim is of course Iron Tusk, which is offensive artifact, marksman unit attack, legion attack, and rapid salvo. Basically, you are firing bolts towards your enemies, up to 5 enemy legions, which is quite a lot of number. 5 is quite good, and plus you are going to deal damage 1000 per second, and this cone will be available for 3 seconds, right? Also, what's important, right, why this artifact is exclusively good for Falgrim, is about additional effect. When a penetrating bolt deals damage, the Wilder deals 20% more, 12% more hero skill damage for 10 seconds. Well, Falgrim is the only hero in the game which is dealing damage by the penetrating bolt, and that's why this artifact is exclusively good for Falgrim. But this artifact has one big and huge weakness. Basically, whenever you are casting the skill Rapid Salvo, you have to be standing still. If you are going to move around, you will stop channeling this skill, and it means that you won't gonna deal damage. That's one of the biggest weakness this artifact actually has, and it's kind of same style as Rattle Spear, right? Of course, if you don't have Iron Tusk, which artifacts you will be able to use on Falgrim, and it will do its job, right? Of course, that artifact is Shadow Blades, right? Pure damage dealing legendary artifact, which is available from the normal openings from the universal artifacts draws, and basically it's kind of same style, you just don't have additional effect. You are just going to try to deal as much damage as possible, right? Heart of Kamasi is not the choice for Falgrim and Nico, because Heart of Kamasi is mainly normal attack damage dealer archer hero pairs artifact. That's why I believe the best replacement for the Iron Tusk is actually Shadow Blades, right? Of course, you could go and choose Viola's Bow, but since the Falgrim and Nico is more of an offensive hero pair, you don't really want to have like control and debuffs on this hero pair. Basically, you are trying your best to get as much damage as possible from the talents, from the artifact, because Falgrim and Nico's main idea and main job is to actually deal damage in open field PvP, and more items will help you by doing that. That's what you should go, right? Iron Tusk is available from the Universal Artifact Compendium, which happens every single end of the KVK, and also you will be able to get this artifact from the Forge of Light, right? And as I have mentioned, Forge of Light has a much more important meaning than just acquiring artifacts. That's why I believe at some point you are going to unlock this artifact, especially if you are Archer main, just like me. So yeah, that's basically enough talking about artifacts, and let's move towards speaking about Warpits, right? Warpits, the main Warpit for the Falgrim and Nico gameplay is of course Barbed Manticore, right? You might say why it's the best. We only need to read the puncture's description and we're gonna understand why, right? Deals physical damage to target and inflicts defense break 5% for 3 seconds. If the target legion already has defense break, which we're gonna have from the Nico, your Warped legion gains 1 stack of Third Mark, maximum stack is 5, Each time it deals hero skill damage to the legion if the target legion existing defense break effect is stronger than yours, and basically this will give us 5% and Nico will give us 15%, which means Nico's defense break will be higher. Your legion also gains 50 rage. That's the most important skill which you are getting from the puncture, right? I mentioned already, whenever I was speaking about the hero pair itself, that getting as much rage as possible is really, really important. And you are basically going to get 50 extra rage from the Barbed Manticore, which is really good, right? Of course, this Warped won't gonna be the best damage dealing Warped in the game, but for Falgrim and Nico, it will do its job pretty nicely, right? 50 rage is great for basically every single hero pair in the game, no matter which kind of troop type you are actually choosing, right? And yeah, the advanced puncture, more damage, 54% more damage because it was determined by luck. And of course, Chain Strike Synergy. I only go for the Chain Strike Synergy on my Archer Warpeds. I don't like First Attack. I believe First Attack is mainly good for the Cavalry gameplay, right? Same for artifacts. Basically, if you don't have good Barbed Manticore, which Warped you will be using and which Warped will do its job, right? And as always, one of the most versatile Warpeds in the game, which is Sand Lizard. And you can actually make it work with Sand Lizard, but unfortunately you shouldn't really expect that you are going to deal damage as a Sand Lizard. It's a survivable healer Warped. Why it's a good replacement? Because it doesn't really cost too much to actually upgrade it to the place where it will do its job. And the Sand Lizard's only job is actually to just get heals, right? So yeah, main Warped will be Barbed Manticore, and the secondary Warped, that's how we're gonna call it, will be Sand Lizard. I don't believe, well, actually, you could easily go for the Snowpeak Rock, also at a third choice because of the defense break synergies, which concentration actually has. But as an Archer main, if you are also Archer main, I believe you are going to have concentration on Inara rather than on Falgrim, right? But as a choice, you should always have this choice. If you have a good Snowpeak Rock and you are not using it on Inara or Nico separately, I believe you can make it work with Falgrim and Nico with a defense break of Nico 50%. You're actually going to deal damage, and plus Legion physical attack from the concentration is really, really valuable, especially for the Archer gameplay. So we have three choices: Barbed Manticore, Snowpeak Rock, and Sand Lizard, right, in the end. So yeah, I'm trying my best to give you the options, and whichever option you are actually going to choose will be great for you, right? At the start of the video, I mentioned that I have 31.5 million merits, and from those merits, basically 99% is from the Archer gameplay, right? 31.4 million merits I got only by Archer gameplay, and the videos which I'm trying to make is always from my own gameplay, from my own experience, and my experience is getting higher and higher, right? 1040 consecutive daily logins is the value which you are going to get from this channel, and hopefully we are going to get even more features in Call of Dragons, and hopefully Archer gameplay will get even better and better. One more topic which I wanted to mention regarding Nico and Falgrim. Nico is gettable from the gold chest, basically. You will be able to choose Nico if you don't have Nico already awakened, I believe. And you are playing this game for a couple of years, I think it's time for you to actually awaken this hero, especially if you are Archer player, right? Regarding Falgrim is gettable from the lucky spins, which basically happens every single second week, like twice, like once in 2 weeks. You will be able to get lucky spins event from the value events. From here you will be able to choose the hero you want to get, and that's how you are going to unlock Falgrim. And not only unlock, you will be able to actually increase the levels of the hero, right? As you can see, my Falgrim is not awakened yet. My full focus currently is on Ruby. I am missing one more level, and Ruby will be awakened, and the next one I believe I will try to focus some levels on Falgrim, because I think 3 and 2 is quite low, right? But still, this hero pair is doing absolutely amazingly well if you're gonna have a consideration that this hero is not even awakened yet, right? So yeah, that's my third hero pair which I made the guide in 2026. Hopefully these guides are helpful, and if it is, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.